technically work from 10 to 10 as Lucy. But with Zealotess, who sounds like this? I almost died, and I hated her, and I hated Tyler Walker for casting me as her. I was very mad for a long time about that show because it ripped up my throat right when I needed it the most. She liked to whip people and laugh about it.
I totally relate to that. I mean, because for me, Krillin talks like this. Mr. Stop talks like this. And pitching his voice is very, very painful. And he likes to scream a lot. Well, everybody screams on that show, but I think... But that's not the worst. The worst thing ever I had to do was for Chris Bevins. And I don't even know what show it was. I didn't even ask. I was just walking in the hallway at Funimation. He said, Sonny, come in. I got a part I need somebody to do real quick. And I went, okay, whatever. And it was about this guy who's buying soiled panties at a soiled panty store. And I said, I didn't even know this existed. And where can I get some? I need some soup. No, and he said, no, they actually have vending machines in Japan that they sell these at.
Japan is weird.
And then he gets gang raped in an alley after that. I know. I said, I walked out and I said, the worst thing about this experience for me is that it didn't bother me at all. I realized that moment I'm a total whore. Whatever. Give me some money, I'll do it.
Hey!
This is a question for both of you. How did you guys both start how did you guys both get into the voice acting business?
It's funny, didn't you ask about Laura Bailey earlier?
No.
Yeah, it was you? Okay, Laura Bailey got me into it.
She slept with Laura Bailey.
I slept with Laura Bailey.
And then they became roommates.
He slept with Chris Abbott.
Yeah. I actually found some fanfic about me and Chris Abbott about 12 years ago. I wish I had the forethought to save it. That would have been such a gift, to give to Chris. These are my feelings about you. But for real, I slept with Chris Evans. No, for real, I was why am I so loud? Test, 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 test. Come on, come on, come on, come on, now turn me down. Yeah, no effect at all. How about I turn it back a little bit? Is that better? Okay, cool. I was a theater actor in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I had gone to school for theater. My original goal was to be a theater professor. And I dropped out of college as soon as I got a comic book published, so forget that. And I was doing some theater, and Funimation came to Texas, and they had open auditions for Dragon Ball Z. And a friend of mine from the theater circles auditioned, and she didn't get a part, but she said, you should audition for this. This seems more like something you'd be good at. And so I gave it a shot and got the part of Krillin. But, Krillin dies a lot. It was a part-time job.
You killed Krillin, you bastards!
And also, I came in on that one, pretty close to the Cell saga. It was like the end of the Frieza saga. So Krillin had a lot less to do with it. So I didn't really take it seriously. I thought it was just something fun I was doing. And then Cartoon Network called and said that they liked what I did with Krillin and asked me if I would audition for Toonami Tom. So I auditioned for Toonami Tom, and when I got that part, I realized I kind of stumbled onto a career.
I did a play with Laura Bailey, and that's just how I met her. And I had moved back from Florida State to Texas to make some money before going to New York to actually try my acting career. And while I was in the play, I became really close to Laura, and she brought me up to the studio to watch her record, which was her way of actually just trying to get me in the door. Thank goodness for her. And I watched her record with Chris Bevins on Dragon Ball GT, and at the end of his session, he needed one bit part from a girl, which was just a scream. So I got in the booth and I scream, and that scream got me the audition for Rachel in Case Closed.
Yay!
And the audition for Rachel in Case Closed, before I ever got cast as Rachel, got me the part for Eclair in Kitty Grade, and that was my first one.
Thank you.
Actually, I first met her. I was directing Lupin the Third, and I needed someone to play the girl for that particular movie.
Right around the same time.
Yeah, and Justin recommended you. I didn't know who you were. And I thought, oh my God, this girl's fantastic. And I'm serious. Did you notice I started casting you in every one I could get away with after that?
Noticed I liked
She was like in every other Lupin movie after that. Yeah.
So, you know how you said a little bit ago that you slept with Chris Sabat? I guess you could say Corinna Next Piccolo is canon now?
Close cannon?
Corinna Next Piccolo is canon.
He's shipping you into you.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. Why not?
I know this
You
isn't
make such pretty babies.
I told you I'm a complete boy. It doesn't matter.
You can draw, Luke.
You guys paid for us to come out whatever you want.
That obviously did not happen because Chris Evans' baby is beautiful.
Oh, you're saying that we would make a good baby. Look at Krillin and look at Piccolo.
Yes.
He would have a beautiful, smooth head, probably an antenna, no nose. He'd be adorable. He'd be this chibi thing that's pointed ears and... Okay,
Alright,
enough baby noises. Is there more? Are we going to go further into this? Because I feel if we go any further, we may all suffer through this.
if I give you $10, will you please draw me a picture of Corinna and Piccolo's baby?
Okay, I'll tell you what. We both have things here that we can sell you. She's got some, what do you call them? Prints.
Autographed cards and a
Cards.
bunch of my different
And I've got my comic books here, and we both sell them for $5 each. And if you buy one of my comics, I will draw whatever character you want that I do a voice for, or in this case, I will draw the child of Strait. So it won't cost you $10, it'll only cost you $5.
Okay.
Yes.
If you want to throw in an extra $5, you can.
Hey, Colin, this is for you. Can you tell us a funny story from when you've directed Black Butler? Anything funny at all?
I only directed the first technically 12 episodes of Black Butler. Starting at 6, I was training Ian Sinclair to take over and start directing for me as I was going to be his producer. So my stories are very early on, and I don't have anything funny at the time because it was very serious, like training of the director who was going to take after me. So I don't know that I have any super funny stories except that it's really, really hard to find people who can do accents. And it turns out that most actors suck at it. Yeah, which is why I'm very glad that we got the people that we did.
Especially Michael Tatum, because he was awesome.
He's great.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so in the realm of weird people.
Sonny Strait.
Alright, so if in the realm of like characters that you have played, what is the weirdest thing, like fan art wise or fan fiction wise, you've come across with a character?
Oh no.
I think that Colleen was at the same convention, and there were several Full Metal Alchemist actors, and some girl made us sculptures of our characters, like by hand, and they had like this brown cake stuff on it that looked like dried blood, and we could not figure out what it was. That was probably the weirdest thing I remember.
That's funny. I thought you were going to talk about the bobbleheads. Somebody made us little bobbleheads of our characters.
Oh yeah, I remember those too.
Yeah.